today we will have our special guest, Shelley. She's coming next, so don't leave, stay there.
It's the same thing in regards to the CD. I wanted to convey a universal message on different themes, even though the content.
Hi, good evening guys. How are you guys tonight? So welcome back to Music Cosmo. We are at Open Launch today. This is relaxing, nice setting, lighting, everything relaxing, right? So with this environment, it's very great to have a very soft, tender, nice jazz singer. So we have our special guest today, and her name is Shelley. It's my honor to have her here today. So Shelley, why don't you introduce a little bit about yourself, so our audience will get to know you.
Well, to get to know me a little bit better, well, okay, as you have said, my name is Shelley Hamilton. I'm a singer and an actor that works here in Toronto, this fantastic city. Mainly the genre that I would be considered working in would be jazz, but I like to call it more like a jazz soul because I always try to add my own elements in my music. I released my own CD last year at the Glengold studio, but before that I've been a vocalist that has worked with various artists all over the city, and in 2003 I worked on a CD called Allegro by Robert Michaels, and that won a Juno Award, and I did some of the vocal work on that. I've also worked with another artist by the name of Jamie Bonk, who is a great guitarist here in the city, and I've been very fortunate to work with several incredible musicians all over Canada, the US, Europe, but it's great to be home and sticking home now and doing more of my music here.
Yeah, especially you always say live in Canada, eh? So you're very patriotic.
Yes,
we can
exactly.
Understand from the point of view that you set it up on the back of your CD. So the next thing I'm really interested, because everyone has their background and then they have something to light them up of doing things.
Yeah.
Then what inspires you that you want to be a musician, an artist, and or an actor? Why not, like engineer, something like that? What makes you becoming?
I've had a conversation about this before with someone, and I'm one of those people that has been very fortunate to know that this was all I knew I wanted to do from a very early age. I never really had any inclination towards anything else as passionately as this. So I started singing at a really young age in junior high school. Even in elementary school, I was always the kid that sang louder than everybody else in junior choir. So when I got into my mid-teens, I started just singing with people, singing with other friends, singing in a band in school, trying to find other musicians to work with. And I ended up having the opportunity to work with a lot of older musicians as I got older in Halifax, because I'm originally from Nova Scotia, and those were my original roots of music. And a lot of the older musicians I worked with were always like, you've got to know the past in order to create your own future. And I've always believed that, and I've also tried to instill that in the next generation of musicians that are getting into jazz music. You have to know the past and the roots of music in order to develop and define your own style. So for me, it was everything. I mean, I listened to a lot of pop culture music at that time, but a lot of the older musicians got me into jazz and other elements of jazz and instrumental artists. Listening to everything from Joni Mitchell and then Roberta Flack and Gladys Knight, and then going back into Melissa Manchester of all things, and then getting back into, again, Billie Holiday. So all these amazing vocalists and all these amazing musicians were my influences, which is why to this day my style and my influences have always been very eclectic. Do not ask me what my favorite song is or what my favorite singer is.
Never ever, because everybody is different and there are different categories in music, so we can't really say this singer is the best. Maybe he's the best in jazz, but not the best in classical, right?
And that's how I feel. There's different elements of music that I have favorites of, but there's never one favorite for me because there's been too many influences for me musically to define myself by that one person that I like so much. So I feel really blessed to have been influenced by so many different styles.
Great. Then what makes you really fall in jazz? Like how do you put different elements? Let's say you take an aspect from pop music, how do you transfer or transform that type of rhythm or beats into jazz?
It doesn't happen necessarily by changing it rhythmically. For me, the arrangements come organically. The first thing I do is I listen to the lyrics and based on the lyrics, I decide how the story should be told. If it has been traditionally always done as a fast tune, sometimes I like to change it as a slow tune so I can emulate more of the emotion. Sometimes completely the opposite. If it's a slow tune, I like to take it as a fast tune. One of the songs on my CD I originally heard as a country tune. And I didn't hear it as country. I heard it to be like a really soul pop tune, and I wanted to change the arrangement. So different things like that. It's usually the lyrics first that speak to me, because I look at the music as something I need to communicate, and I am the conduit, I'm the communicator. So if I can take that song and translate it, that people will actually listen to it, and the biggest compliment I get, either when I'm doing work with the band or when I'm at the public group, and someone comes up to me and says, I never listened to that song before until now, then I know as the communicator I'm doing the right thing.
I see. So you think the lyrics is more tangible to communicate?
Yeah, for me as a vocalist, just because that is how I'm translating the music,
right.
For people to communicate with me. So I look at the lyrics first to feel what I want the arrangement to be. And with jazz, I do the same thing. I mean, that's a wonderful thing about jazz. You take it, you create it, and make it your own. So sometimes that jazz piece that everyone has listened to 1,000 times communicates to me differently. And I try to do that with my music, just to change it up a bit, to make it fresh for everyone, because that's what I want, and that's what I want to communicate with people. And usually the response is good.
I think this is probably another question in my mind. Like, it depends on your experience, because people have different interpretations. So even the same song, when you listen to it, you have different feelings towards it. So another thing that still back to your background, that what really make you start thinking, okay, music is what I like, and I want to start a career as a singer, but not, just like hobby. Maybe I just sing with my friends and have some performances at school or something else. That's my career, honestly.
For it to become a career was a difficult transition for me, just because I didn't understand how that could happen. I mean, I've seen other people doing it, but how do you do that? It didn't seem like it was something tangible at first. I knew it was what I wanted to do, but I didn't know how that could be something I'd actually be able to make a living out of.
Exactly.
So that came with a lot of hard work. I mean, I've been working in this field now for almost 25 years. So for me to take that type of music, or just take music in general, and know that I wanted to do that as my living, I knew that it was going to be a very hard road, but at the same time, it was going to be the most rewarding road, and the road that I knew I'd wake up every day and enjoy what I'm doing. I mean, I did a lot of other day jobs, like all of us artists have had to over the years, and I worked in retail, and I worked in customer service, and doing various things. But the thing that always brought me back is, regardless of what I was doing during the day, to be able to make a living, what gave me my life was my music. And I knew eventually we'd get to a point that that's what I would be doing to make my living off of. Not a lot of artists can actually do that. I mean, a lot of us have to make that commitment to family and lifestyle and our work. And there's other things that do not make it always so tangible. But I've really tried to be consistent in wanting to go forward with one thing and then another thing. And the more work that you get more experience, and you start to create a name. And when you start to create a name, other musicians get to know you. And when they get to know you, they want to know more about the music that you do, and they want to work with you. And a lot of connecting with other people. I mean, a lot of dreams and hopes, and just beating yourself against that tar just to get to the career that you want. I still do that. I mean, every day that I work is always the challenge to make it as an artist here in Canada. I think sometimes young people look at people that make a living as an artist and either think they're poor and starving, or wow, I wish I could have that life. And even when I have younger kids come to me about, well, how do I become a musician? The first thing I always say is that you have to be extremely committed to know this is what you want to do. And then the second thing that I learned, and a lot of older musicians always told me, just get up there and sing. Wherever you can, wherever you have a chance to, just get up there and sing, perform, hone your skills, get more confident about yourself, get more confident about your music, get more confident about your style. I still do that, and I've been doing this for how many years. It's a constant learning process, and I think that's also what I like about you. You still always feel so new to it, even though I've been in it for a long time.
That's what the passion is from.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work, and it's been just a consistent thing for me to always go forward and try to learn new things, learn new music, work with new people, getting more connections in relation to the music that I want to do. So you never know when that right connection is going to come along, but you just keep plugging towards the next one and the next one and the next one for things to evolve.
Oh, and I noticed that you teach like little kids with some levels, of course. What do you find so interesting? What's the difference of being a teacher and a singer?
I think for me, I like the teaching because it makes me feel like I've come to the next stage where I have enough knowledge that I can also pass it on. And I think that's also a gift that artists have, and a duty I think we have to take our gift to be able to use it in other ways, to be able to give it to other people. So teaching was something that I never thought I'd actually get into, but I was asked about it, and even though I'd never done it before, I knew that with the knowledge I had, I'd be able to do something like that. So at first I just started doing workshops for students in schools after school, and then I was asked to create programs for adults that have never sung before, and to get them in an environment they would be comfortable with singing and doing it with larger groups. It was just so inspiring to see people that had never sung before singing together in a group and doing harmonies. And for me, feeling so fulfilled that I was able to pass it on, and actually knowing that I could, and it working out so well. And then I've also, the other thing that I like is the culture aspect of music. Being a Black Canadian and growing up in a rich community in Nova Scotia, I felt it was also my duty to be able to give people some of the music history that I know. So I started doing workshops about music and Black history from a Canadian perspective, and just also from the perspective how Black music has influenced our music lives through the centuries, through slavery and civil rights movement, modern day times, and how in general music does influence us. So again, it's being able to look back at what I have learned over the years and give that to people, give them that knowledge, and I just feel like knowledge is power, and even knowledge from music is extremely powerful, especially for people that want to take this on as a career. It really is about empowering yourself and being aware of what you want to know about music. So teaching in that regard also gives me another way to be able to pass on what I know and pass on the teachings of music. So I've been very fortunate.
So you bring your own personality into your teaching?
Oh, completely.
Then, how does your, I don't see any of your students here. How do they feel about like the way you teach?
I think they like it because they don't feel like they're intimidated. I take away the music board and the charts and the bass and the treble clef and you have to know this note. I take all of that away and I get them to learn music more organically. I get them to learn how to breathe. I get them to hear for themselves instead of assuming they have to hear C on a piano. I want them to hear C once and know that they can sing it without hearing it on the piano. So I get them more in touch with themselves organically, and that's what's inspiring, because a lot of the students that I teach in a school setting, they're used to music being taught to them on a board and having to play, and I'm taking all of that away from them and making them fly by their own bodies and by their own voices, which for a lot of people, especially if you've never sung before, can be quite scary. But at the same time, it's really invigorating when you actually get it. And I love seeing kids or adults get it. When they get it, that's exciting. Because then they feel like how I've always felt since I was a little kid, that my whole body is a tool. I can travel anywhere in the world, and if I just stand someplace and start singing, I am a tool. So that's how I like them to think about themselves. So it's neat to see them walking around the hallways and singing, because they know that they're their own tool.
So you wanted to feel so good of whatever they're doing. You wanted to feel comfortable. That's what your album is about.
Feeling good.
So why do you talk about your music, like your album that you have? What's the theme of this album? Why do you want to name it?
Well, to be honest, it came out of healing. I almost died 2 years ago from a pulmonary embolism. And when I was at death's door, I literally did not, I almost died. Coming out of that, I knew that I wanted to do something really brilliant and shiny to give an example to my life. interesting thing is that when you go through a near-death experience, you get extremely brave. So the bravest thing for me to do, once I started getting well, I thought, what is the bravest thing for me to do? The bravest thing for me to do was to produce my own CD. So as crazy as it was, I thought about it and went, well, I think the universe is telling me something, so I'm just going to go into a studio and produce my own CD. And the music changed. I was kind of working on a CD before, but the music changed from it being completely one genre of music to it having like really organic elements and having a theme of being uplifting, being reflective, being in love, and feeling all these different types of emotions. I didn't want it to have one emotional category because at that time I didn't. So it actually, I felt that the CD kind of created itself, and I was trying to push it so much before I got ill, and when I started getting well, it turned into something that was creating itself. The music automatically came to me. The songs that I had written, I finally wanted to actually do something with them and actually have them on the CD. Some of the arrangements of tunes that I'd known from years ago that I wanted to do came back to me, and I wanted to do them completely different so they'd be mine. So out of that, when I finally released the CD, I felt completely healed. And that's what was really exciting, is that when it was done, I felt well.
But that's a totally different experience when you are almost at the edge of that.
Yeah.
Then you came up with different ideas, the thing that you were fear of doing, that you think even that you were close to that. So then you turn up with someone who that, okay, I don't care, even my life was almost passing away, then I should really just do something that I like, that I would feel good about.
Yeah.
Can you specifically point out some songs that carries that spirit there?
Well, Feeling Good does. I mean, Feeling Good is an old jazz CD that a couple of artists have recently done as covers, but they've actually done it very close to the original. Mine is not like the original at all. It's almost like an uplifting gospel version.
Well, that's why it's different, right? That's why we need to buy the new CD, right? Because it's different. Then you guys need to buy it to see what's the difference.
Well, Nina Simone did the tune. When I heard the tune, it was done by Nina Simone. And I loved the tune, but again, the lyrics spoke to me. And the lyrics said, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. And I instantly heard that all over again for the first time as I was feeling, and went, that defines me right now. I'm feeling good. I really want that song to convey that feeling of joy and of wellness and of life. So the arrangement completely didn't do that for me. I needed to have something that really felt gospel fused and soul fused. So the arrangement took a completely different trip on another tune that I wrote called Cali Alone. It's very Latin based. It's sort of like a Latin jazz vibe. And when I wrote that, I didn't necessarily know how the arrangement was going to be, but I felt that it was going to be Latin. And the Cali Alone is actually about a place in Colombia. So I wanted to have this beautiful tropical vibe that was kind of Latin, and so I felt that it conveyed that really well. Dear Louise is a song that's written by a great artist here in Toronto by the name of Liz Tansey, and it talks about just being homesick. And for a lot of the time while I was healing, I felt homesick. I wish I was back home in Nova Scotia for a little bit, or even when I first came here to Toronto, that feeling of just missing where you are from and where your roots are. It really spoke to me, so that came onto the CD. Then there was another tune by Jan Arden that I've always loved, but again, the lyrics spoke to me differently than how she translated it. So I did the song, and that cute little story, I actually sent her a copy of the CD, and one of her managers emailed me back to say that Jan appreciated me sending the CD to her, and she said, I never heard one of my songs sound so happy, because she always does.
Yeah, I heard that on the web.
Really melancholy too, and so she really liked the fact that the lyrics of it conveyed something completely different on the CD. So I was really hoping that people would get how I was translating the music to them. And so far the feedback has been so positive. I've been really blessed by how people have reacted to it. And it was the same thing when I started promoting the CD myself. I needed to have a vehicle that allowed me to translate more of the stories behind some of the lyrics, or just to be able to translate the stories for people to listen to them in a different way. So I wrote a one-woman show called Feeling Good, and I use it in a cabaret format, so I do the songs from the CD in the show. So that again helped the music translate itself, and I would tell a story about love, and then I would sing "Gotta Love You," and then I'd tell a story about rain, and then it looks like rain, and so it helped the story along with the music at the same time. So I was creating a show that also had elements of music, but people were listening to me being not just an actor, but a storyteller. So it's been a wonderful vehicle for me as an artist to be able to have something that's fun. And again, it got me brave enough to write my own show, to do the CD, to be doing the work that I've been doing. It's been a wonderful last couple of years.
So you are exploring the aspect of your life, rather than just like, I'm just singing.
Yeah, completely. And it's been fun. It's been so much fun.
Another thing, since you write your song and you do the lyrics yourself, what's the difference like to the process that you're singing your own song and you're singing someone else's song? How does that thing? I know you sing it differently, but is it easier that you find it's easier to pick up the emotion and tone?
When I first started singing my own music, it was actually harder to sing my own music because you're being brave enough to take something that's really personal and give it to people, and you're being judged. So unless you don't tell anybody, they don't know whether it's your music or not. But I usually like to tell them that it's something that I wrote. But when I first started doing it, every time I did it was like they're judging my work. Versus if I'm doing somebody else's work, they probably heard it before, or it is somebody else's. So to me, if I'm singing it, it's like I'm hoping it's fresh for them and I hope they enjoy it. No pressure there. But if it's mine, a lot more pressure.
I never thought of that in that aspect because I was never in that shoes.
Yeah, it's completely, I'm getting better with it now, and I'm a lot braver with it, but still when I take a new piece and present it out, like I did the Toronto Street Festival this year, and I did one of my tunes that I hadn't performed in front of an audience before, so of course I did the Celebrate Toronto Street Festival. I'm doing it in front of hundreds of people, no fright there. So I started doing it, and by the time I got to the end of it, that's when it felt comfortable. When I first started doing it, I was just butterflies. So now it's done. Now once I do it the first time, it's a lot easier, but it's still difficult to do your own music. You're just challenging yourself.
Well, that's what life is about, experiencing new things, getting better, and moving towards another level. So where can we find your CD? Like, since we have a nice program here and finding out who Shelley is, and I know whoever's sitting beside and wants to know where to get Shelley's CD.
Well, I'm an independent artist, so you can find it at places that support my work. A different book list at Bathurst and Galore. Sam the Record Man at Young and Dundas carries it, and you can also get it directly from me off my website, www.shelleyhamilton.ca.
Don't miss it out. And what about your concert? Like, what's the live music? Besides Opal Lounge is one of the places. It's on 472 Queen Street West. Here's one place, and where else can you listen to the concert?
I'll be at the Drake Hotel this month, I believe on the 26th of September, doing a benefit for Matt Track, but I'll be there with my band doing live music, so that'll be great. You can occasionally catch me at Nolan's, which is at 299 King Street West, and various places around the city. You never know where I'm going to pop up next. Fiona McCool's, I believe, on Sunday starting in October from 6 to 9.
Is there any calendar or your schedule that we can find from the website? That will always get updated, right?
Yeah, my website is always updated about any places that I'm playing at on a regular basis. You can always check there. And you can always email me to ask me where I'm playing at or to be on my mailing list, and I'll send out the info and let you know where I'm at next.
So we can always go after you, if you get that?
Between me and my a cappella group, the Delightful Divas, you can find us around the city all the time.
Then next question, what do you find, like what kind of achievement that you think you receive at this stage of your life? What is the one thing that you feel so good about continuing music?
I think the best thing that I feel good about right now, besides my CD, because I do feel good about it, hence the name, I guess the best thing I feel good about is that I'm still doing this. I'm still in the business. I'm still plugging. I'm still enjoying it. I'm still fortunate to have been great musicians. I'm blessed that when I location at a specific event or place, I usually let people know about it again all on my website.
I see. So we get to know you a little bit of your past and what you're doing right now. Then can you tell me a little bit about what you're planning to do in the next 5 years? What's your next goal?
Oh my goodness, the next 5 years, I never think that far, darling.
5 months.
Well, I'm very blessed. What the video I did off of my CD for Cali alone is going to be on Bravo Television this fall. So that was a goal that I wanted to achieve, and that's going to be happening. And probably in the next 3 months or so, I'll be driving that really fast car that just went by. No.
Not my goal, but...
In the next 5 months or so, I hope to be doing a couple more videos, getting some airplay on radio. I've gotten a bit of airplay on Galaxy and on some other radio stations in Canada, and just getting some more airplay and just plugging away. Some more gigs that we could play would be great, and we'll see what happens next.
You know, like, through this interview, I got so many inspiration from you and meeting with young artists. It's really, really inspiring. And then I'm really admiring the spirit that you have, that you really pursue what you're doing and trying to push to reach your dream and your goal, not just like living for surviving. And for a lot of young artists out there, what do you say to encourage them to reach their dream? If they want to be an artist, or if they just try to reach their dream, not necessarily an artist.
If you feel really driven and you have a passion about it, you have to be brave. I've seen so many young kids that aren't brave, or they think that they don't really need to do a lot, so they think that they can do it in a lazy way, or they're just not brave enough to do something like perform your own music, or do a gig, or present your work, whatever it is, be it writing or painting or what have you. You have to be brave. You have to constantly go forward with it and stay connected. It's like what I said earlier, one of the best pieces of advice I got from another older artist to me, and she said, sing, just sing. Wherever you have an opportunity to, wherever you have an opportunity to, sing. Because people will get to know you and they'll find out that's what you do, that's what your passion is. So as crazy as it sounds, just be brave and continue to go forward with it. And if you can do that, you have confidence and you're getting positive feedback, then you're probably meant to continue doing it. And if you don't want to be brave, then do it at least to fulfill yourself. I know some people that love singing because they love singing.
Yeah.
They don't want to do it as a career, but they find that it's passionate for them. So if you do anything that gives you passion, that's regardless going to fulfill your life. It just so happens that my passion is also what I do to make a living, so I'm doubly blessed.
I'm glad to have you, like, you're so inspiring, and I can get to do what I want to do. You give me the courage to do it. So it's really nice to have Shelley today to do our interview. Are you guys feeling good?
I hope so.
Actually, I don't think so, because they're just listening to our conversation. They have to get Shelley's CD in order to feel good. Okay? So it's nice to have you guys today. Thanks for watching Music Cosmo, and I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, let's say bye to them.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
I'm here in Cali. That's fine. I said, okay, we can do things your way. The first class ticket, the sky's the limit. Anything you say, but why does it feel like sleep after only second? I'm here in
唔使，見就握手啦。